Hello, my name is James Miller, and I want to welcome you to Come and Dine. Today, I want to do what is called is Truckdrivers Talk. And before I get really into it, why am I doing this? There was one day I was right behind a 18-wheeler, and it had this bumper sticker. And man, the bumper sticker, I really loved it, and it just stuck in my head. And the bumper sticker was heaven bound with the hammer down. And man, I was like, man, that makes a great sermon title. And there for a long time, I written it down. I was like, man, I said, what Bible verse could I really put with this title of heaven bound with the hammer down? And the more I thought about it, when you think about it, and I have noticed that when you muse over something, and that word muse means to put a deep thought, God will give it to you. And so whenever I get a chance to preach this sermon, heaven bound with the hammer down, I want to use 2 Timothy chapter 4. It'll be verses 6 and 7. And this is what this was nearing the end of Paul. He was getting ready to die. He knew it. And so he wrote this to Timothy. And of course, Timothy was a son of the faith, and this is coming out of the pastoral letters. But this is what the Apostle Paul told Timothy when he knew he was getting ready to die. He says, I am now ready to be offered, and the time of my departure is at hand. And now that word departure, I kind of like that departure. It means to pull up the tent stakes, to pull the anchor up. When you're out at sea, a ship wants to drop anchor. It means that they're going to stay there for a while. But when they pull that anchor up, they're getting ready to go. And this is what Paul was getting ready to do. He was at the end of his life, and he was ready to pull up anchor and go to heaven. He's going to be absent from the body, but present with the Lord. But he says, my departure is at hand. I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. And that's something that, the idea, the thought that I'm going to put is, what does it take? What mentality do we have to keep the hammer down to be heaven bound? But as I was thinking about this, how can I put it together? And as a boy, my dad was a truck driver. And I'm going to tell you, the truck drivers, they have their own kind of language. They even have CB handles. What that does is that lets people know who they are. My dad's CB handle was a diesel pedal pusher. We had a good friend. His name was Kenny, but for some reason, his CB handle was hippo. There's a guy his name was Boomerang. There's a guy named Junebug, Squeaky, and the reason why he was called Squeaky because he spoke at a real high voice like that, and he was called Squeaky. So I'm gonna share some of the truck driving printout that I've looked, and then this guy that I got it from, he gives you some of the way it talks. So the truck driver language, a driver is a trucker, and only a trucker can be a driver. A four-wheeler is a person that's me. We're non-truck drivers. Semi-pro. Semi-pro is a big pickup driver, bro, that thinks he's a trucker. You got a bumper sticker, and that means a car that tailgates really close. You got the suicide jockey, and that's a driver that's hauling a dangerous substance like fuel or explosive. Then I got go to Sesame Street. That means to turn your CB radio to channel 19. Reading the mail means you're just lurking on the radio, usually on Sesame Street. To be keying up means that you got a person that's just keep on talking, keep on interviewing, cutting off people. Got a clean shot. That means there's no law officers on the road ahead. And this one's very interesting. It's called paying the water bill. And what paying the water bill is that you're pulling over the road to stop to pee. You got the Smoky Bear, or what they call bear. It's a state trooper. You got feeding the bears. That's getting pulled over or also getting an invitation. Bear bait is a speeding four-wheeler that drivers hope bears latch on to come feeding time. You got the county mountie. That's a sheriff's deputy. A Evil Knievel is a motorcycle cop. A Kojak with a Kodak. That is an officer. And a lot of you people that probably don't understand, there's a show called Kojak. And it had Telly Savalas, and Telly Savalas had that bald head, and he was known as Kojak. So, an officer is a Kojak with his radar gun pointed at the traffic, and that's like a camera with a Kodak. So, Kojak with a Kodak. You got a Care Bear, that's a cop or a patrolman at a construction site. You got Bear in the Air, that's aircraft enforcement. Aircraft enforcement of the speed limit is in the area. This is basically a chopper in the air. You got the Bear Den, which is the police headquarters. A local yokel is a city cop. Brush your teeth and comb your hair. That means get ready, folks. There's an officer shooting his radar gun up ahead. Let's see. You got gators, busted tires on the side of every highway. Run them over and they'll bite you. You got chicken lights. Chicken lights is all the extra lights on the side or top of the trailer. You got Georgia Overdrive, and that's just coasting down on a hill to save gas. Riding the cradle, that means tucking in between two trucks on the highway. You got donkey. And that's behind you, kind of like on your sits, an aviation term. You got the front door in front of you, over your shoulder, also coming up behind you, but in your past, as asking if you passed any cops lately. Through the woods means you're taking the back roads. Credit card machine. A very narrow bridge that makes it feel like you're a small card getting rung up at a cashier. Let's see. Hammer down. And that's the one, that's the part of my title. Hammer down means putting the pedal to the metal. And then finally you got stack them apes. That means so long and good luck. And so here's the how this terminology, this language can be put to use. With all those drivers keying up on Sesame Street, nobody told me to brush my teeth and comb my hair. County Mountie almost gave me an invite. If anyone's reading the mail, I'm heading through the woods, hammer down with a clean shot. Translation. Here's the translation. With all those truckers constantly talking on the main radio channel, nobody warned me about the speed trap up ahead. That sheriff deputy almost gave me a ticket. If anyone's listening, I'm on the back roads now, speeding along with no sign of cops. Here's another one. That semi-pro was a bumper sticker on my donkey, right up until the suicide jockey came up the back door and cradled him. I'm sure that grill in his mirror made him pay the water bill, because he got over and put the hammer down. Translation. That pickup was tailgating me behind me until a truck with a dangerous load got behind him, pinned him in between us. I'll bet seeing in his mirror made him want to pee himself, because he immediately got over and sped off. Let's see. Oh, man. Okay, here. I thought I got it wrong, but here it is. Bear bait blew right past Kojak with a Kodak, but Evil Knievel caught him and made him feed the bears. Translation. That speeding car went right past the officer using his radar gun, but the motorcycle cop caught him and gave him a ticket. And finally, here's a good one. I'm a couple miles off your front door, just past the credit card machine. Just paid the water bill, stacked them eights. I'm out of town, hammer down. Translation. I'm a couple miles in front of you, just past the really narrow bridge. I just stopped to pee. Good luck. I'm back on the road and going fast. So I hope you have found this interesting. I know I did. Thank you for watching. I hope this has put a smile on your face. God bless you and you have a good day.